So this year I started secondary school, which for you Americans is basically just high school, I guess. And in this video I'm going to talk about my experience there. I don't know what else you expected. Let's just get into the video. When you move into any kind of new school, you're gonna have to lose some friends from that transition. This was very hard for me since one of the many friends I was gonna lose from that was my best friend of all time, Zach. Me and Zach have been friends since I first started school, and we've had a long history together, most of which I've already told on my channel, or actually just originate from that. Our school experience had gotten worse in the past couple of years, and we've had better times outside of school, but either way, I was still sad not to see my best friend every day. Nevertheless, you can't escape the inevitable, so the final day of school came, which was very emotional. Besides me leaving Zach. I wonder why that was. It's not like there was some sort of theme park we were going to the day after. Anyway, me and Zach hung out quite a bit over the summer, so we didn't really have our emotional goodbye, I guess. Anyway, sorry, Fingless and Funko Pops. Summer's over, and now you have to go back to school. Or in this case, a new school. Our first day wasn't in the actual school and was on a football field where we played rugby. Henry, doesn't that make it a rugby field? Oh, sorry about that, guys. I get a bit angry when people bring that up. Anyway, when I was told to play rugbus, I instead just walked around doing nothing, ranking Invader Zim episodes in my head for no reason, like I do whenever I'm told to play a sport. There was another first day we had, which was in a classroom this time. This is where I met my first friend in the school, who I'll call Ryan Reynolds. He, sure was a character. In the school, there was a lunchtime club that you could go to, so, you know, I went there. I met a lot of peculiar people there, like Flaky Animates, who was already in my class, but my brain can't fit more than like 3 people in it. So say something, Sir Flake.
Microwave?
Oh, the most person I met at this club was an extremely mid guy called Jack. Or for the sake of this video, Stickman! I hate this person. But he is funny. And it is funny to act like I hate him, even if he's one of my best friends. I always do this joke where I tell him he's mid, and tell him he's not a gamer, and will forever be a lamer. Shakespearean writing over here. Me and him do a bunch of goofy stuff, including things like locking out my school iPad for 3 hours. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. Everyone has iPads in the school, which went very well, and absolutely nothing went wrong. And everyone used the iPads responsibly. Library! I love the library in this school. The one in my old school was just kinda average. But this one, it's got DVDs. I've never mentioned this before, but I do still like using DVDs, I call them. And this library had them. Most of the movies were more like classic films, like E.T., Sing Street, School of Rock, Paddington, absolute classics. I rented out all of these, and me and the librarian had some nice conversations about the movie. Speaking of which, the librarian. Me and the librarian got on pretty well. We both seemed to have an interest in DVDs, so yeah. There was also an animation club that I went to, where I talked to a guy who I'll call Cool. I randomly met him while I was waiting for my mum to collect me. He was waiting for his mum too, and he was just complaining about how long it was taking to some random guy. That's how we became friends. Anyway, let's rapid fire on some random stories. My iPad wallpaper changes every time you open it. They're all stupid memes. I've had the website spinningrat.online running on my iPad for over a month. One time I randomly posted the letter G in some random hidden channel in the rugby group chat on Teams. Then months later realized people were spam replying it, so I joined in until people were taking the joke so far to the point where people were spamming on other separate messages until the teacher just straight up archived the channel we were spamming in, and I was scared that I was going to get publicly executed. But fortunately nothing happened. PowerPoints! In English and Irish class, we were once given a PowerPoint to do, both at the same time. For English, we had to do a project about a place that meant something to us. I chose my playroom. And for Irish, we had to do a project about our house. I chose my house. The Irish project was nothing special. I barely knew how to speak Irish, but the teacher seemed to like it. I put a joke in there. Blah 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 blah. I totally speak Irish, and I'm not doing this so my viewer retention doesn't go down. Anyway, let's see what's on the next slide. No! My English project was much better in my opinion. For context, my English teacher is extremely funny and unhinged. She threatens the students that does not sound good. She says stuff like, "I will rip off your head and kick it across the hallway." She is quite possibly the best teacher ever made. English. Anyway, the project. Hey guys, welcome to my video. I'm going to be going through my English project. So yeah, ignore that. I was research purposes. Anyway, here's my playroom. Come on, you stupid. Anyway, ow, my headphones. Henry Edition, my playroom. What the hell is this stupid place? First of all, no language. Second, it's a place I spent a lot of time in growing up, even though I'm still a fetus. In this playroom, there's an Xbox, a piano, annoying children, and chairs. What more could you ask for? Me and my brothers would spend nearly every day in this room playing Minecraft or playing Woodies. Look, there's Woody. Why else do you like this playroom other than nostalgia, you stupid boy? You really cannot say that word. Miss English teacher's gonna kill us. By the way, I have to censor some of this because I don't want to get doxxed. Maybe those threats were real. Anyway, I like this playroom because it feels very cozy and warm for some reason. Probably because of all the farts. I regret putting that joke there. It's also weirdly quiet for some reason. I go in there to record stuff like this. This is where I'm recording right now. Listen to this. It's beautiful.
Oh, let's see if I sound good.
I don't even know if you could hear that because don't ask what the context is. I was recording a video. That's where I always record my videos. This isn't very interesting, other than the first part. You can read this if you want. Is this playroom still around? Good, you stop swearing. Anyway, what the hell did you expect? Of course it's still around, but it's a bit okay. Yeah, you could go. Listen to that. What is this? Oh yeah, I'm supposed to be screaming here. What does the playroom look like? Shut up! I mean, be relatively silent. The playroom looks like this. Look, chairs. I didn't put that there because, again, don't want to be doxxed. I don't have a picture of the Xbox. Well, I think I do. I'm just too lazy to find it. So here's a picture of Peppa Pig in the playroom. See, look, Peppa Pig. He's there. Hey Henry, you stupid. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to do like a joke here. I was like, what's that mysterious glow in the distance? Give us the picture of the Xbox! No, I don't want to give it to you. Do it or else we're gonna turn you into a Microsoft PowerPoint Ripple transition. Wait, no, please! Alright, fine, here's the Xbox. Are you happy now? Anyway, I've blabbered on for long enough, so in conclusion, I like my playroom. The end. I like this picture. It's almost like I've been using it for almost 3 years. I've done projects, school projects before. I should make a video about that if I'm running low on ideas. Whoa, a post-credits scene. What's this? It's my house! Hope it doesn't blow up this time. Hey, what's this? I hate my lab! Anyway, enough stories. It's time for exams. Yeah, we're not talking about this. Exams are boring. If you're wondering, I did pretty mediocre for the Christmas exams, mostly because I barely studied and wasn't taking it very seriously, and I did better in the summer exams. Anyway, we're gonna talk about something very cool. A school trip, Tato Park 2, yeah! So we were going to a place called Flynn Park, which if you don't know is just a place where you climb and do obstacles, like this. The entire class was going, including my good old buddy old friend Flaky Animates, and his friend who I'll call Tim. The first thing we did was this climbing course called The Tower. You basically just climbed well. It started off easy, but as it got higher, it got way more difficult. At one point, I was trying to get across to another part of the course, but then some other guy was trying to climb back to where I was from the part I was trying to get to. So we were just shuffling around the pole, reattaching the clippers we had. I thought I was gonna fall off and die, but fortunately, I didn't. We also jumped off a building! Okay, that's not entirely true. There was a building here that has a zip line, which I didn't get to go on, and there was just this giant drop that you could jump off. which I did go on. Don't worry, dear viewers, I did jump off a building. We waited in line until it was my turn. I wanted to do a funny when I jumped off, so I jumped and... Wait, no, I forgot my heart! Actually, no. Get tricked, nerd. We had harnesses, so ha! What? When we were first told about this trip, we were told that we were going to do paintball, but we never actually did and instead went to this water place called Aqualock. We put on our very uncomfortable wetsuits and went there. It was literally just a lake and some bouncy castle looking things. The water was freezing, but you know, I obviously had to get in, so... People kept trying to push me into the water, but it was still fun. At one point I started to feel sick, so I was brought to shore and got dressed. The day came to a close, so we took our picture, some guy ate a paintball, and we left. The end of the year came as a nice little gift for some of the teachers. I got them their favorite chocolate bar. Most of them didn't even take the thing, or I didn't even get to give it to them. Other than the librarian, who was unfortunately leaving the school, so I got her a Mars bar and I wrote her a nice letter before she left. And with that, I think I'll end the video here. Before we finish, I want to give you some advice if you're going into secondary school or high school or anything soon. If you're feeling scared or sad that you won't see your friends again, or just scared of the school in general, remember, everyone feels the same way. How do I know? I was absolutely broken before going into secondary school. I missed my friends and I was intimidated by the school itself. Change is scary, I wouldn't know. Also, remember, you can still contact your friends over the internet. Anyway, that's gonna do it for this month's Henry video. If you enjoyed, subscribe or follow. I don't know what platform you're on. Hi, Newgrounds. Anyway, good egg.